Fellow betters, let me introduce myself. I'm Elliot Collins. As a punter like yourself, I've been where you are right now, and for that reason, I'm going to show you how it's possible to swap those off days for a consistent money stream worth over £113.10 every 10 minutes spent placing bets. Thanks to the revelation I'm about to share with you, I'm now able to support my family from betting, making around 33.9 points per month. With nearly a dozen years in the online betting community, I've now established a team of skilled and trustworthy punters that have helped me make a small fortune. Ours is a story of bet club winners. We didn't always make 17 points profit for every couple of weeks betting. In fact, for the first 7 years of my betting tenure, I only dabbled with a few bets at the weekend. I used to work as an IT technician, clearing 19k per year, so I'm not exactly a rags to riches story. It may sound like a decent wage, but it wasn't worth it, as I was working like a dog for a minimum of 45 hours a week, not to mention commuting. My other half was pregnant at the time with our firstborn son, so spending time apart doing something that repetitive and soul-sapping was hard to stomach. Things seemed to go from bad to worse. The company I worked for began cutbacks during the autumn of 2006, and I was one of the first employees to get the axe. I'm sure you know somebody who's been through a similar situation. Luckily, it turns out that the job that was so quick to take away my wage was about to make me 10 times wealthier. After losing my job, I started working full-time on developing my bet formula. My wife was less than impressed considering our fragile circumstances with the little one. In the first few months, I used a few simple codes to track and compare hundreds of different betting systems and softwares simultaneously. All I needed was a winning service. I soon discovered chances were slim to none. Instead of relying on others, I took filters, tips and techniques from others to create my own unique selection process. Some weeks I'd make up to £300, but before I could breathe a sigh of relief, I was already losing on the next bet and feeling the pressure again. With the power of hindsight, I realised my hot and cold streaks only happened when I stopped working on my formula. I had to constantly evolve with the times to keep myself in the green. Don't get me wrong, I'd be a fool not to use the number crunching system that served me so well in the first place, but I'm in no way a slave to it, since it's not the key reason I now make money. The real secret behind the incredible results you see is teamwork. And that's why I'm here to help you. You're sitting there today hoping to make a betting breakthrough, the same kind of breakthrough that brought my wife around to the idea of getting married to a full-time punter. In January of 2007, just as we came out of the toughest Christmas we'd ever shared, I hit big, with just over 4.5k profits in a joint account I set up with a good friend. We shared it down the middle, and that £2,329 payout was the lucky break I needed to let me know I was on the right track. I knew that together we could achieve more. Since then, I've enlisted the help of the best pro bettors and stat trackers betting has to offer. We're now a tight-knit family unit I like to call the Bet Club Winners. Aside from myself, the Bet Club contains 4 close friends who are experts in betting in their own right. Some are avid sports fans, others exceptional risk management punters. Together, we're unstoppable. Prior to creating this Bet Club, we averaged between 13 and 16.5 points per month as individuals. But since joining forces and sharing the information we hold to create a 5-filtered hybrid service, we're now easily earning 34 points a month each. The ability to draw on other professionals' experience is invaluable and absolutely integral to maintaining profits. Imagine an average Joe bettor who produces roughly 4.5 points weekly. He's brilliant with numbers and specialises in horse racing. Unfortunately for him, some races provide falls and non-runners that no amount of stats can account for. Regardless of how good you are with numbers, a stat-based punter is going to lose out sometimes because the numbers don't always add up. However, imagine this punter also has a friend with inside sources, a mole if you will. On a given week where the favourite falls at the first, he would have lost his money thanks to his over-reliance on the stats. Fortunately, he's advised against it an hour before due to an update from a source and saves himself from a surefire loser. Having just one more skill set involved with a different point of view and expertise changes everything. Even if the mole helped just once a week, this punter would go from 4.6 points weekly to 6.5 points. Over the course of a season, we're looking at an extra £1,560 extra using just modest £30 stakes. And that's all thanks to just one pair of helping hands. The stat-based punter I'm referring to is actually me. The mole is a good friend of mine and another example as to why this service works through teamwork. It's important you're thinking clearly at this point, so forget what sport you're into. This is about making money, and that's why you're making a positive decision about this. To make sure you can take advantage of this, we've made it easy for you. Instead of providing every single pick and overwhelming you, we gather as a collective and condense all of our winners to select only 3 to 5 of the highest value bracket picks each day. HVB basically means the most value for money. We also put in place an odds stabilizing system that balances out the odds margin depending on how much profit we're in for the month to lock in profits when we're up and wipe out losses when we're down. Meaning no matter what the momentum is, we're shifting our strategy to compensate and ultimately increase our winnings month after month. Just to make sure rookie bettors can follow this, I decided to do a little experiment. I've been providing these selections to a few private members so they can help provide feedback on my service. Half a dozen or so of our beta testers agreed to set up a modest £500 starting bank. They received the 3 to 5 highest value bracket picks, taking less than 5 minutes to capitalise on them, and half of them were new to betting. In the last 2 months, every single one of them has averaged around £364.57 fortnightly from just £25 level stakes. That's like getting to the end of your year and having a £9,478.82 tax-free bonus waiting for you. When you sign up in a couple of minutes, we'll provide you with the same guidance and winners they received. Whilst they made good money, I myself was able to capitalise on much bigger stakes thanks to my years of investment and generated £1,656 in those same 72 hours. The kind of return my wife and I had only dreamed about a few years prior. Before I let you sign up, I can't stress how grateful I am to those people who helped me get here. My little boy wants for nothing thanks to the freedom and time this Bet Club method now provides me with, and I want to share it with just a few of you. I know you've got families to support, and mine are the reason I'm compelled to keep improving this. I want to provide a better life for my son and wife. In fact, the idea to share this with you was actually hers. She works for a charity doing what she loves since we don't need the extra wages, and a few months ago she suggested that I give something back. And I'm so confident you'll love being one of us inside the Bet Club. I'll give you every penny back if you aren't over the moon with this service. If you don't like it, you don't pay for it. Now, with a steady strike rate of around 57.5%, I'm going to show you how to make an average of around 33.9 points profit per month, all without having to know a single thing about betting. But be warned, you don't have time to dwell. Punters like you are taking advantage of this as I speak, and it's going to cost more by the day as demand becomes increasingly hard to deal with. You're not going to be able to come back tomorrow and get it for this same ridiculously discounted price you see now. It'll cost a lot more as the days go by, so I'd get it now while you still can. I wouldn't want you to literally pay the price for hesitating. If you don't want to fork out the grands this info is clearly worth, then you'd better make a positive decision now. Click the Add to Cart to become a Bet Club winner. Signing off, your friend and fellow punter, Elliot Collins.